World, welcome back on the channel. Super happy to be there, because every time that we do a live, it's when Inter doesn't win, and today they respected it. They didn't win again, 3-2. The problem is that last time we were really happy, but then we played and we didn't win neither, because it was a disaster. 2-0 versus Barcelona. Sorry to speak and to remind you that annoying game, because it was annoying, really depressive. We will speak about the words of Pirlo in press conference, and also Capitan Panita. Juan Cuadrado was also there to speak a bit. He had like 2 questions, not more, but he said really something interesting, so we will go through that, speaking a bit about Inter for the people that saw the game. Then Ronaldo, because this is the title of today. The king is back. Ronaldo is back. He said it with a lot of confidence and arrogance to the microphones. Cristiano is back. That's the most important. We will speak about the ratings. I have given my ratings today, so it will be maybe controversial. Maybe people will agree with me. They don't know, so they will discover together with me and you in the chat as well. We will speak about Bernardeschi, because Luca Monblano said that in January he will be out. Do we want him out? Do we want to keep him? And then we finish with some surprises, if we have surprises. But before saying hello to Christine, Adam, Andrea, and Paolo, I want to say hello to the people that are following us. So, ciao, Gimbo, and today it's working. Look at that. Ciao, Gimbo. Ciao, Leo Gando. I have to get used to the name, guys, because they are not the name of my channel. Of my channel, I know the names by heart. Here, I have to discover them. Dedaralais. I will try. Ciao, Teo. Ciao, J. Tarik. Ciao, my friend. Ciao, Mick Leon, 89. Ciao, Avi. Ciao to everyone. We will try to involve you as much as possible. But starting with Christine. Ciao, Christine. How are you doing today?
Ciao.
Christine.
It will be a harsh
well, I believe.
today.
That was all of us after Barcelona.
Greetings from New York. Let's talk about all the disasters that Juventus have possibly run into lately on election day here. No, I'm okay. I'm doing as well as can be expected. Gonna drink a lot tonight. Gonna start with you guys because I just love you so much.
Oh, you can drink as much as you want, Christine. I'm sure, guys, remain today on the channel, because I'm sure that from the 50th minute it will be really a showtime with Christine when the bottle is nearly empty. Ciao, Adam. Thank you for accepting the invite again. Really happy that you are here again.
Oh, thanks for having me back. Thanks for having the Return of the King as the title. When you bring me back, it's all good.
So indeed, guys, the return of the king is Adam, who is there again. We will not speak about Ronaldo today. Ciao, Andrea with an amazing, beautiful color as a sweater. I'm really jealous because I feel like I need to tan a bit. How are you, Andrea?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And then we have Paolo back in the office. Back in the office.
Hi, everybody. Stay safe. Clean your hands. These are tough days, right? Don't drink it. Okay. Yeah, we are back in the business here. So yeah, I'm from work.
Paolo, you have to explain me something before really entering into Real Madrid Inter. Explain me something. How is it possible that when you are at home you have no cap, and then when you are working you have your cap on? Do you have some rules that you have to respect in the office?
Well, I told my game manager the AC not here, so you can. Because of I'm old, so there is an airflow coming from the top to right my head, so it's just because of that. I keep my head here. Otherwise, I have still the airs. Okay, they are somewhere, so. It's not the Colpo Gobo style.
It's not the Gobo Gobo. No. But you can reach that level one day, Paolo. So
there is always time to do so. Yeah.
People are asking to Christine what the label of the wine.
So right now I'm drinking Alma Libre. It's from Chile. So I don't have a booze sponsor yet. So if somebody wants to call me, it's probably going to be a long rest of the year. So I'm available. I will drink almost anything. So, but right now, Alma Libre, Chilean wine.
Andrea, ciao Andrea. The other Andrea in the chat, he's saying Cartonati, speaking about Inter, they are last in their group. Who saw the game just a few minutes ago?
Who watches Inter?
That-
What's wrong with you people?
so Adam didn't watch the game. You watched Atalanta Liverpool?
No, neither.
Neither. Andrea, you watched it, right?
Yes, I watched both. I zapped a bit out there and out here, watching Atalanta and Inter. And well, actually, Atalanta lost his mind very, very easily and too early. Well, Inter Milan was in the game until the last few minutes, and actually he deserved to equal the match, but actually they lost. Oops.
Oops. I have to say, because I watched, like a bit like Beppe Marotta, with one eye on the game, one eye preparing the live of tonight, and they didn't play that bad, but there was
Yeah, that's why.
there was a harakiri movement of Hakimi, who actually gave it a gift for Benzema. Then they were able to come back from a 2-0 to 2-2, but then Inter, how we said it, we know it, pazza Inter. Question, and then we jump a bit to Atalanta because it was a disaster result. Do we prefer to have them third or fourth? Paolo?
I think the Europa League is the right place for them right now.
I prefer to have them also third, and I said it because I want to do the transition with Atalanta. Atalanta lost 5-0 after an amazing year last year. They are not really performing that well in Serie A, even if they won last game, but we see that they have really difficulties. Adam, how do you perceive it? Is it that difficult? Because sometimes we don't praise, according to me, we don't praise Juventus enough, because playing every 3 days, you play Champions League, you play Serie A, and you have also the pressure of result, because if you play without pressure, that's one thing. With pressure, it's another thing. Was it to be expected about Atalanta, or what's your take on that really dramatic result of today?
It's the same as they do every year, isn't it? We see this every season. Since Gasperini has been there, they start the season, they get beaten heavily by 2, 3, or 4 teams. Last year, I think it was it Kiev and Man City beat them heavily in the first few games. They still went through. They went further than Juve in the Champions League last season after all. So this is just Atalanta. It's what they do, isn't it? It's sometimes they get big wins, sometimes they get big losses. And when they play against a team as good as Liverpool, imagine what Liverpool would do to Juventus right now. It's like that Liverpool team is frightening, and to lose to them is no shame at all. And like I say, this has to be what we expect from Atalanta at the start of the season, until they all click together, until everything's working. These are kind of the results that they get, and then December, January, February, everything starts to click, and everyone's like, "Oh, look at Atalanta, aren't they great?" It's like, yeah, they were good last year too, just the same. It's just Gasperini.
I remember last year, indeed, I believe after 3 games, they had 3 losses. And then they started, I believe the first equalizer was the 4th game, and then they won the last 2 to qualify. Christine, today, Pirlo, he said in press conference, I will show you, he said, Barcelona opened our eyes on the fact that we have to do better. Okay, that's what he said. And then he said he was quite happy actually to face them now, big teams, than probably a bit later. You agree?
On one hand, what else is there for Pirlo to say about that performance? On the other hand, if I'm remaining optimistic, as I have been, I'll say that tactically he has learned something, I think, that we saw just going to Spezia about having to make moves faster than he did with Barca. I think that he tried to anticipate our weak spots going into Champions League, especially knowing that he didn't have who, again, in my opinion, we rely on entirely too much, Ronaldo, that he did what he could with what we had, but I think that he could have done better. I think that we corrected for that a bit with Spezia, but again, it's also Spezia. So I think that would have been the statement that I would have issued, quite frankly, if I were him.
I felt really a lot of negativity coming towards Juve, but really a lot, because if you follow social media, you see what they are saying. It was already Pirlo out, and then also Cristiano Ronaldo dependent, because he's not there. Then you offer a performance like that. Dybala was really trashed because so many bad things about Dybala after that game, right or wrong. We will speak about it. But Andrea, what was how did you feel as a Juve fan after the performance of Barcelona?
Well, I have to say that in the first half, I wasn't feeling that bad. It was very worrying to see the second half, the lack of personality, the lack of stamina, and actually the lack of personality once you got the first goal. Then you went to a 1-0 down, and you completely lost confidence. And that is something that shouldn't happen to a top level team, as we are. I'm not saying as we are supposed to be, as we are. In any case, I think that, as Christine said, some changes has been put there against Spezia, because we saw 3 midfielders instead of 2. Two was not enough, especially if you have if you play against technically skilled teams. In any case, I still see lacks in this in the starting 11, because I think that a 3-line defense doesn't put us in the condition of playing a good offensive game, or if we play a good offensive game, but we don't defend with a good balance.
I have taken, for the people that are watching today, I have a lot of pictures of the game versus Spezia, the good things that we did, and also the less good things, because to be honest with you guys, the first half of Spezia, for me, except of 10 minutes from the 10th until the 20th, what were quite good, it was for me also really depressing. I stopped at the 45th minute. I went out to drink something, and I was like, I'm really, really depressed. I was nearly to take the bottle of wine of Christine. Until a man came and he changed it. He changed it. He changed completely the game, and you could clearly see it. Before I go to the rating, and then we can analyze Spezia, you clearly saw that when he was on the bench and when it was 1-1, the eyes of Ronaldo said more than enough. He wanted to enter that game. He wanted to change it. And as a supporter, Ronaldo fan or not, you knew that he could make the difference. Adam, your take on before Ronaldo on I believe the first 50 minutes, and after he entered the game, what changed?
Well, Ronaldo came in the game. That's what changed. But I think we have to take a step back here. You have to look at what Pirlo is trying to do. It's not like, if we still had Allegri and turn in a performance like this, yeah, okay, it's a disaster. Barcelona, Spezia, it's a disaster. But with Pirlo, with trying to change to be a more attacking team, a more modern team, a more proactive team,
a younger team,
absolutely. And these are the results that you're going to get. You're going to get beaten by a Barcelona when you play them without Ronaldo, without De Ligt, without Alexandro, with Federico Chiesa playing for Champions League game for the first time, with Dybala playing for the first time all season. These results, that's what's going to happen. And the alternative is to go and get another manager and be like Fiorentina with Iachini, or Juve last season with Sarri, and just bumble through and keep going. If you want to, Andrea said about Juve being a top team. If you want to be a top team, This is what it takes. This is what Barcelona did years ago when they got Pep. This is what Bayern Munich did years ago. This is what Real Madrid tried to do all the time. It's what Manchester City did in getting Pep. If you want to be a top team, you have to play this style of football, whether it's a back three, a back four, two-man midfield, three-man midfield. It's the style of play, the wanting to attack, the wanting to win 3-1 instead of 1-0. That's what Juve have to do, and that's what they're trying to do. And you have to, I said this last time I was on, but you have to credit Pirlo for sticking with that, even when it's Barca, even when it's Milan, even when he knows the team's not ready to play that way. He's still making them play that way, because in 6 months' time, they'll believe that he believes what he's telling them. And that's so important, like we saw with Sarri. So you go to Barcelona, to Spezia. Yes, it didn't work against Barca. It didn't have the certainty of Ramsey. But again, you have to manage for the whole season. And we know with Ramsey, if he plays 2 games in a week, if he plays when he's at the red line, he'll be out for 3 weeks. So you miss him against Barcelona, because if you don't, he misses Spezia, he misses the next game, the next game, the next game, and then, oh, we needed Ramsey. You lose a group stage game to Barcelona, you're still going to get out of the group. You beat the other 2 teams, you still go through. It doesn't matter. You beat Spezia, you rest Ronaldo, and with Ronaldo against Spezia, it's the same. Ronaldo was back. They could have started him against Spezia, go 2-0 up in the first 20 minutes, take him off later, or he plays 90 minutes, gets too tired. You said exactly the right thing. You could see in Ronaldo's eyes, he wants to play, he wants to play, he wants to play. Pirlo said, no, on the bench. 55 minutes to go, need to change the game, bring on Ronaldo. He plays 40 minutes, and now he's ready for Champions League on Wednesday because he's got some game time, and he's still fresh. It's the long-term vision. Yes, we can sit there and we can look at 20 minutes against Spezia was rubbish, 90 minutes against Barcelona was rubbish. Look at the whole season so far. You can see what Pirlo is trying to do when he has even close to the full team, like the second half against Spezia. Look at what he produces, and that's what you have to take going forward. You bring Sandro back into that, De Ligt back into that, give some more experience to guys like Kulusevski, McKennie, Artur. All of a sudden, this is a very different team and a very different proposition, and we have to be bigger than just to go, oh, it's a disaster because it was 1-1 at halftime with Spezia. So what? It's about more than one game.
You already unveiled the last slide I had. I had one last slide, but really my last slide, it were the words of Cuadrado. But before that, I want to say thank you to Michelond89 for sub again. And we have also a new sub. Let me find it back. Thank you, Holdesirio. Thank you. Thank you for subbing, guys. For the people that are new, that are watching, if you are subbing to Twitch, you have a lot of benefits. You can enter the Telegram group that at the moment is only Italian, but you can have, and you can use all the emails that we have. You can also sometimes be taken out to participate to a live of us in English or Italian. You have so many benefits. So if you want to, you can. If you don't want to, you can watch it for free. And otherwise, if you have Prime with Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to Twitch. That being said, I want to unveil the words of Cuadrado because they are linking to it. So Cuadrado, he had like 2 questions, and one was quite important because he said, against Spezia, we were good at being compact, playing short, and moving the ball. We have the players to play the beautiful football as Pirlo is asking. So he said, really, we want to play that beautiful football like Pirlo is asking. And when we go back 2 seasons ago and even 3 seasons ago, Allegri was a bit polemic about beautiful football. What is beautiful football? And now he clearly said next to his coach that we want to play that beautiful football. And you explained it quite well, Adam. But I want to ask Paolo and then Christine, beautiful football. Do a team like Juventus have time to wait? Because now we won versus Spezia and it's fine. But how long can we wait for that beautiful football being Juventus?
That's a great question, especially if you look our back and you see what happened last season with Sarri, because it was meant to do exactly the same, change our idea or playing more, attacking football, something more spectacular, but we can say we failed about that. And just coming back a little bit about Spezia and probably also Verona game, I saw again last year issue like we play good with confidence, and then all of a sudden we stop playing, we just wait, we take some rest, and we allow our opponent to score, and then we start over again. And this is, frankly, I don't understand where this is coming from. Okay, so to answer your question, is what Pirlo is trying to do. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do so. Probably he's going to find some compromise to get either good results and a decent football in the field. But he has also to grow a lot, because what is said about Barcelona, I wasn't that happy about saying, Barcelona opened our eyes. I would say more open Pirlo's eyes, because we tied with Roma, Crotone, and Verona. This was already clearly the team was not performing very well. Okay, there was already some issues. So Barcelona just show us how big is the issue, but the issue is still there.
Mm. We have Ermi7 that is saying, and then I give Christine the word. Is the bottle of wine still full, Christine?
We're a little bit below half here, so.
So we have time. Keep staying at the 50th minute, because I'm sure it will be showtime of Christine. So Ermi7 is saying, when the Champions League group stage games will be over, we will see the best Juve, because now Pirlo is not getting enough preparation dates. He did mainly recovery sessions after the matches, but after the group stage games, the team will get a week to read and to prepare for the next game. I totally agree with him. So, Christine, do you agree with Ermi about the time that Pirlo trained, and also coming back? What is beautiful football, and do Juventus has the time for it?
Okay, I'm going to start with beautiful football and just address that first, because I feel like that takes time and it will come, right? Like, irrespective of anything else going on, I have confidence that with the players that we have, the sort of glimmers of light that we're currently seeing, sort of, especially like McKennie and Artur finding space in the midfield, you see the sort of rumblings of something great, right? And we're early on, okay? And I think that beautiful football takes time. So I don't know that we're going to see that in its full potency for quite some time, but I don't think that that's necessarily what we need to bank on at this point. What we need to see is, foundationally, do we have what we need, and are we moving in the right direction? And I think that from a player perspective and from a Pirlo managerial perspective, we're already seeing that his football IQ is strong enough that he's understanding what he needs to change quick enough that the next game he is. So I don't know what's going on in training, but they're doing the right things. So I'm still optimistic that we'll get where we need to be, but I don't think that it's going to be tomorrow by any means, right? But I'll take what I can get at this point, right? The connections that are being made, even the difference between and granted, again, acknowledging that Champions League and Serie A are not the same thing, and also Barca and Spezia are not the same, that there were changes made between those matches that are inspiring me at this point. The connections that were made, McKennie getting his first assist in Serie A, making that connection with Morata. There are good things happening. So I think that needs to be good enough for now.
May I ask you something? Would you accept, because don't forget, we are in 9 in a row, we can do something that will never be repeated in history anymore, so the 10th in a row. Would you accept a transitional year, meaning winning nothing?
I don't think that. I don't think that's something we're used to, right? We're a bunch of big babies. I'm not going to pretend like we're not spoiled children that expect, at the very least, that we take home another season. I think that we've also gotten a little bit complacent, because we accept that we're just going to win, right? Like, past seasons, they haven't been pretty. Let's not pretend they have been. They have not been beautiful football. They have not been easy, but we still grinded it out. Was it enjoyable to watch? Almost never. Okay. Like, I spend most of my time actually screaming at my TV like a lunatic. And thank you to my neighbors for not reporting me. But I I don't think that this season is going to be the season that changes that. This isn't going to be pivotal in terms of me enjoying this. I think that it's going to be another hard-fought season where we have outlier games that I can't possibly wrap my head around why we lost or drew, and others where I'm shocked that we won. And you have to take all of the positives out of every single one of those mess games and say, yeah, but here's what we did good, right? Like, maybe we aren't changing on the field from a tactical perspective as to the speed that everybody would like, and I don't think that it works that way. That's kind of where I'm at.
I would never accept this year. I speak about this year. I would absolutely not accept a transitional year. We are at the 10th, so for me, I'm totally against a transitional year.
Here's the thing, though, right? So let's step out of our shoes, right? Supporters, fans, and otherwise maybe not the most brilliant managerial minds on the football field. I don't think that Juve takes this one on the chin either, right? Like the level of speed and just impetuousness that we dismissed Sarri for Champions League, right? I don't know that we have the kid gloves on for Pirlo either, from a business perspective. I hope so, because quite frankly, we need to sit in saddle with somebody for long enough to develop. But I don't know if they'll have the same leniency.
I just wanted to pin a beautiful comment of Cami Palermo, and it also showed the support we have from the Italian community that say we don't understand, but we like it. And I thank you, Cami. Grazie, Cami, grazie davvero per il tuo commento che ci fa molto, molto piacere. Christine, please pronounce McKennie for the Italian fans.
Weston McKennie.
McKennie. See? The people prefer when you are saying it. Guys, we will shoot immediately with the ratings. I did the ratings, so if you have to shoot someone, shoot me. I take full responsibility on it. I will show you all of them, and then we go to the attack. First, the forward, the strikers, and we go backwards to the defenders, because we know people, they want to know about Dybala, Ronaldo, and Morata. So those are my ratings. I did I spent 4 hours to do that graphic myself. I'm quite proud. So don't judge the ratings, judge the graphic. But Buffon 5.5, Bonucci 5.5 for Demiral, 6.5 Danilo, Cuadrado 6.5, 5.5 Bentancur, Arthur 6.5, Chiesa 6.5, McKennie 7, Dybala 5, 7.5 for Morata, Ronaldo 8.5, Rabiot 7, and Ramsey 6. So I want to start with the 3 votes I gave. Ronaldo 8.5, 7.5 Morata, and Dybala 5. I don't know. Oh, I'm alone now. No, guys, come back, please. Okay, thank you. I believe everyone else gone. So if we speak about those 3, was I completely wrong, or do we kind of agree with my ratings?
I definitely agree. Morata is in totally shape. He's in really good shape, physically and mentally. He's doing really, really, really well. And he has been so unlucky because he could have scored more, just a centimeter matter. What about Dybala? Dybala is the opposite. Dybala is out of shape, and mentally and physically. And there is something unsaid about Dybala. It's really. I don't want to unveil following subjects, but actually there is always something unsaid about Dybala, because when you see Dybala playing like that, you think that there must be something else that can't be just a physical matter. So it always make us worry. And speaking about Cristiano, what can we say? He was amazing for the impact, for the will he has. He's so powerful. He's energetic. He's he's brilliant. He's really, really, really brilliant, and it feels like time doesn't pass for him.
I will explain my vote, but also, guys, in the chat, let us know what you think. I see already 5 is too much for Dybala, and we have Luca in the chat who's saying calma, 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 like Allegri was saying. I had a question like about Buffon. If he's slowing down, we will come to Buffon because I gave him a quite harsher vote, but we will speak about it. I wanted to show 3 pictures about Morata, and Paolo, if you want to comment, because except of the goals that he scored offside or not offside, but you see 3 clear movements of Morata. First one when he scored, actually, where he's really able to free himself alone. That's one. Then a second time when Dybala, actually, instead of giving it to Morata, he takes his opportunity, and he put it off next to the goal. Of course, he was offside, or it was blue offside, but it doesn't matter. And then a third time to the goal to Rabiot. I believe, guys, I don't know what you think, but even Pippo Inzaghi would have passed the ball here. Rabiot decided to do it by himself, but I think here you clearly see that Morata did 3 times an amazing movement. So I wanted to praise, I don't know, Paolo, what you think about Morata, but I wanted to praise his way not only of scoring goals, but the way he plays and that he's involved in the game.
No, first of all, I was trying to figure out if, for any reason, Atletico de Madrid started earlier than us, the summer preparation. This will explain why Morata is already in big shape. Considering this is a tall guy, so usually means there is a rule that tall guys take a little bit longer to be ready, physically ready, in good shape than, let's say, shortest one. So I believe he just is feeling physically okay. So he can run. You see how many runs he does during the game. So he really is more ready than other players like Dybala. Just to make the big example, big difference between Dybala and Morata, and physically is like the moon and the sun. It's just completely the opposite. But when you figure this all happens, so you are able to move your body in the right place, in the right moment, and be decisive like he is now. So it's all about, I think it's also mental, because he feels probably very, very good back home, but I think it's 80% also a physical. He feels really good.
Yeah, I agree. And now I want Adam or Adam. Adam or Adam, tell me. Adam. I want you to get us through Dybala, because I have prepared 3 pictures. The first one where you clearly see Dybala here, where Morata is up, and then you have McKennie, and then you have even a third player here, probably it's Chiesa, where Dybala is really here. That's at the 4th minute of the game. Then you see it again happening in the second half, where he's here. You have Morata, McKennie, and Chiesa again, and even Cuadrado. I hear myself twice, guys.
So do I.
That's strange. Wait.
It's echoing.
Does someone have Twitch open?
We feel the echo, and I'm also talking.
I don't know. I hear myself still twice. Wait, I will try to mute everyone except of me. Now it's fine. Look at that. It's perfect. So, guys, I showed 3 pictures where Dybala was really in the back of the action, going really deep, and then he was subbed. He was not happy. He was not even celebrating when Ronaldo was scoring. Can you guide us through that, Adam, please?
Is that better? Yeah.
Okay.
So we've seen this with Dybala before. Every time he's not playing well, we get the same thing. He goes back deep. Those pictures that you showed, some of those were probably the furthest forward he went in a lot of the match. He was much further back than that, it felt like. And 2 years ago, everybody was blaming Allegri for it. And then last year with Sarri, he actually stayed in attack all the time. And Sarri spoke in a number of press conferences about how he'd had to speak with Dybala and make sure that he stayed in attack. and really push him into doing that. And we saw how well he played when he did that. And then he comes back this season. He struggled with injury. He was ill as well. And then it's the same story again. He starts dropping back into midfield to get the ball, and you say something about it, and people say, well, the midfield's not playing well, so he has to go and get the ball. You don't see Cristiano Ronaldo playing at fullback. When Cristiano Ronaldo comes on, he goes in attack, he stays in attack. Morata stays in attack. It's only Dybala. And that's coaching. Pirlo needs to make sure he's telling him that he stays there. If he doesn't do it, take him off. And part of it is Dybala's responsibility. He has to stay in attack because we see so many times the team gets the ball, there's nobody up front. And again, some of those passes, he had a chance to pass to Morata, he didn't. He had a chance on the other one when Morata looked offside, there was Chiesa in the box, just on Mark 2, he could have passed to Chiesa. And he gets into this mindset of trying to do too much, I think, trying to win back everybody's affection, trying to prove that he's the star, and just do your job. That's all it takes. Just do your job. If everybody in that team just does their job, Juve will be fine. And he's hurting more than he's helping right now. And that's really sad to see, because last year, I think, for much, especially after the restart, Dybala was Juve's best player. He was better than Cristiano in the last few months of last season. He just was. And whatever, maybe that's the answer.
Maybe.
But you see with Dybala, you see Ronaldo comes, you see Morata comes back, and everybody's back in a Morata, and Chiesa comes, everyone's talking about Chiesa, Kulusevski, and he just tries to do too much, and it's sad to watch because he's really, really hurting the team. He really is, and it's everyone's responsibility to change that. And if he can't do it against Spezia, that's a really sad situation that he's into. And whatever his problem is, it needs fixing quickly, because we need back Dybala at his best.
I want to say hello to Dennis because you say, guys, quickly, hello. It's always nice to hear about Juve, even from those who are so far away from Turin. A high five for everyone. Grazie, Dennis. Dennis, that is always on Twitch in the afternoon, in the morning, in the evening. Thank you, Dennis. But I totally agree with you. Time is running out for Dybala. He's nearly 27. He will celebrate his birthday, 27 years, 2 years of contract remaining that we are still not extending. His agent was in Torino for 6 weeks. He went back to Argentina. Talks will go ongoing again from 2021. How long can we wait? It's a bit the same question as how long can we wait for beautiful football. It's the same with how long can we wait for Dybala, because I saw an amazing Dybala twice. When he played with Mandzukic in a 3-5-2, it was amazing. I believe it was his first year and his second year of Juve, even if in and then I saw him amazingly well from the moment he understood what Sarri was explaining him. And that's what actually Adam was explaining. When he sticked in the front, because his start of the season last year was not that good. But from the moment he made that click of staying upside, he was devastating. It was really good. But the problem with Dybala is, again, he's free. He's free to go where he wants, and he doesn't make the difference. And for me, what was really hurting me was the confrontation with Messi. We cannot compare anybody with Messi, and I don't even want to do it. But when you see the same kind of role and position, the freedom that Messi is taking at Barcelona, taking and being able to pass one or two men, even if Messi is not at his big shape today, and you didn't even see it versus Spezia for Dybala, that was quite hurting myself. I wanted to go to the midfielders because I gave them a vote of 5.5 Bentancur, Arthur 6.5, 6.5 for Chiesa, and then I gave a 7 for Rabiot. Are we agree with those votes, guys? Who wants to take the lead on the midfield?
Chiesa is too high.
Too high for Chiesa. I explain my vote and then you can continue, Adam, because you took the lead on Chiesa. I gave him a 6.5. Why? Because from the moment he was involved and he started to participate in the game, you really saw that he wanted to, and he did quite beautiful things. But in the first half, he was not involved at all. And it's not the first time that it happened where we play a lot on the right and we forget about that left side. So that's why I gave him a 6.5. Maybe that 0.5 was a bit too much, maybe, but it's really one we involve him and then he performs.
For his involvement on the ball, absolutely, give him a 6.5 for that. But when Spezia had the ball, it's 3 or a 4, because the goal from Spezia and both goals from Barcelona came from him not being in position. All 3 goals, he gave the ball away, once for Barca, once for Spezia, and on the other Barcelona goal, he was nowhere to be seen. All 3 goals that Juve have conceded in the last 2 matches come from Chiesa being in the wrong position. And he has to learn that quickly, that when Juve lose the ball, he can't be missing in action. He needs to be where he's supposed to be. And that's what we'll get back when Sandro is back, because Sandro knows the job. And it's really hard with Chiesa, because if you're only half watching the game, you're doing something else, you see these fantastic dribbles, the way he takes players on, the involvement he has when Juve have possession. But when Juve don't lose the ball, when you're glancing down at your phone while Spezia are having an attack, he's the one getting cut open, and it happened 3 times in 2 matches, and it's too many. You know, for all trying to play attacking football, you still have to get back and defend. You still have to win the ball back, and he's really lacking in that department. He's way behind somebody like Cuadrado or Kulusevski or Ramsey. He's got to get his positioning right, and he's got to get his motivation right. Defending it's not about skill, it's about effort, and you have to put that effort in, and he's not doing it, and that you can't give him a 6.5 for that, for me.
I saw a question of Tarek, who's saying actually that he's speaking about Alexandro with a declining performance and so on. Sorry, Tarek, I want to change a bit your question and asking to Christine. Alexandro coming back, will that help Chiesa to do a bit less defensive effort, what actually Adam was explaining, or we still expect from him to go down and help? Because I have I will show you, I have a really beautiful picture where we can see that Chiesa is trying. He's trying at least to go back. And here you also clearly see the 4-4-2 that Pirlo is talking about. He's speaking about 3-5-2, or we don't know what Pirlo is saying, but at the end, you clearly see here we have a 4-4-2. Will Alexandro help in that situation?
This is coming to me.
Yeah.
I think it'll be twofold, right? So obviously we rely on Sandro a lot to do what he does because he does it well, but I think that it will also cause Chiesa to step up a bit. I think that there has to be something that the kid picks up from him, acknowledging that, you know, those happen to also be Chiesa's weakest spots. It's kind of serendipitous that, you know, like the kid's weak spots are Sandro's strengths. So if you don't pick up that sort of skill set just in training, like it's his own fault.
I gave McKennie a 7 and a 5.5 for Bentancur. Bentancur is my boy, guys. But if I have to give a rating, I gave him a 5.5. Also, it's a bit the season. It's not only the game that I rated. 5.5 and 7 for McKennie, that actually played, and Pirlo said it, in the role of Ramsey or Kulusevski. Andrea, what about you? Fair enough, the ratings?
Fair enough, even if okay, McKennie was great. He has physics, he has attitude, he has personality. I mean, he has no fear to mistake, and so he does a lot of things on the pitch. Not all of them are technically perfect, but he does a lot, and that dynamism is what we need. And regarding Betancourt, honestly, I'm a bit disappointed with him because he has potential, but he keeps on making the same mistakes. He's sometimes how can I say, he missed easy chances to do the right things. He gets avoidable yellow cards. I don't know. I would love to see Bentancur improving more than what he's doing, and I hope that he's not stopping there, because he's one step away for being a top midfielder, but he has to make that step. And so, yes, his starting matches this season are a bit under his level, a bit disappointing. I still trust in him, but um, putting my head forward a little bit and thinking about next summer, if we need to make a decent transfer session, Bentancur is probably one of the few players that we can sell, earning enough money to buy possibly better players. So I don't know. I want to see if he grows this season. Next summer is not untouchable anymore, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I see Paolo want to add something. Carlo, I will give my ratings about the defense, and then if you want to add something about the midfield, go for it. Because I gave Demiral the lowest vote this game. I gave him a 5.5 with Bonucci a 6 and Danilo 6.5. Cuadrado, I don't know where to put him. I gave him a 6.5. I don't know if it's a defender or a midfielder, so I gave him a 6.5. Paolo, go for it. And then I saw Christine that was really making, in French, we say une grimace. She was thinking like that. So I think she doesn't agree with one of the votes I
Making
gave.
faces. So I want to just say a couple of things. First of all, about Alexandro. I don't know why, but my feeling is it's going to be more a kind of Danilo in our defense rather than a Chiesa. So it's going to be more the third and the fourth in defense. So it's going to be this kind of change the idea about what is going to be. Danilo is going to be Danilo with Chiesa together, playing together. About Bentancur, I believe has the same issue, kind of the same issue as Dybala. He's not in a good shape. He's struggling because of that also to get what he's supposed to do in our midfield. And then, I mean, too many mistakes. As Andre said, I mean, they are just the key pass sometimes that you can, if you do right, you get good chance, you can shine. If you do wrong, we are in a very bad situation. This is what is happening with Bentancur right now. So, and all these things usually is because there is kind of lack of oxygen in the brain. So he pick up the wrong decision because of that. And this is because he's not just ready. About the defense, Demiral, we have to approach with Demiral as we did last year with De Ligt. So it's a kind of a diamond. It's just raw. It's not ready yet. So it's growing. It needs time. So we have to know that he's going to do some mistakes. He's pretty, emotional. So
I gave him a 5.5, Paolo. I gave him a 5.5. Why? Because I like Demiral. He's a fighter. We love him. But he cannot only perform when he's that aggressive. Because for me, the consequences of the red card he had with Barcelona, he had really a big consequences on how he played versus Spezia. And shy Demiral, for me, it's not a Demiral. So for me, he was completely next to his game, and I don't need a Demiral like that. And that's why I also said, if we have De Ligt coming back, a lot of people were saying we want Demiral and De Ligt immediately. We spoke about it last week also. They are not ready. They are not ready yet.
I totally agree, and that also exactly what happened. If he lose this aggressiveness he has, he lose a lot as a defender because he's really passionate. And it reminds me a lot of Chiellini in the beginning, which was a guy that was giving everything, but it was making a lot of mistakes because this aggression. So remind me a lot of Chiellini, just quicker than Chiellini, but basically, yeah, this kind of.
I think the comment you made about getting De Ligt and Demiral it's a dream. That it's not realistic. No manager is just going to say to Giorgio Chiellini and Leonardo Bonucci, "Oh no, sorry, your days have gone. and then we're going to start these two kids. Like, be realistic, man. You know, like, De Ligt is going to be great, but he's probably never going to be playing with Demiral every week because that's just not how it works. It's going to be Bonucci and De Ligt. Chiellini's still there. Demiral is the fourth choice central defender. Like, he's not suddenly going to be, oh, well, we've dropped the captain and the vice captain so we can play these two unproven kids. It's ridiculous. Like, be realistic. And Giorgio Chiellini, when he's healthy, is a fantastic defender still. Leonardo Bonucci, when he plays well, is a great defender. And Juve are very lucky that we have a 3 and a 4 of De Ligt and Demiral. That's fantastic. But they're definitely 3 and 4. Okay, maybe De Ligt is second when he's healthy, whatever. But Demiral is definitely the fourth choice defender. And he's probably the best fourth choice defender in the league. So it's great. And you're absolutely right about the aggression. He needs to learn to play to the limit, but always be near it. He can't be passive like he was against Spezia just because he had a red card in the last game. And I think Paolo is absolutely right about Chiellini, and he can learn from Chiellini in training. Chiellini can say to him how to harness that aggression, how to bring it every week, but not to go too far over the line. And that's what you need. Juve have always had defenders like that, for Gentile, Paulo Montero, whoever. And Demiral is great like that. And that's how he needs to play. He needs to bring that every week because somebody said in the comments just now, a passive Demiral is no Demiral. Absolutely. He needs to be playing with that fire. That's who he is. Bring it.
I wanted to show two picture of two defensive moments that really make me really angry. And then Christine, because I didn't forget, you have to speak about some things. But here you clearly see at the 9th minute that you see here McKennie is alone. He doesn't even have to be there. But you see here Demiral and Bonucci are supporting Danilo. So I don't know if it's because they don't trust Danilo enough, even if Danilo played a really great season. But you clearly see that, okay, if Bonucci is giving him support, that's fine for me. But then Demiral is here, while you clearly see that they were able to go out of that situation because Spezia didn't even lose the ball here. They were able to go out. That made me.
Is just standing watching while everybody else is defending. Maybe he should go back, and then Bonucci and Demiral could come across. Man.
Yeah, and then you have another one. That's the goal for sure. It's not Demiral's fault, but look at here. They are again, and amazing. My computer is amazing, guys. I can zoom in, but you see, there are really 3 men. I don't know what they are doing here, but this is really not okay. Really not okay. So we have to fix those problems, and that's why I want to also
just put that picture back.
I have to put it back.
Yeah. Who's not in that picture, guys?
Who's not there?
Chiesa.
Where the ball is on the left, coming to the on the right, coming to the left. Where is Chiesa? Cuadrado is back near the goalkeeper.
I don't know. I can't see if it's Chiesa or not.
That's Dybala. Artur, Bonucci, Bentancur, Danilo. You've got the names all on the picture. Artur on the edge of the box. He's not in the picture.
I believe it's Chiesa, Adam, because you have Artur, you have Danilo. Oh no, it's Bonucci. You're correct.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah. There's more Spezia players here. There's still no Chiesa. Tying your shoelaces, maybe. Having a coffee.
I will review my vote about Chiesa. I will give him a 6 instead of a 6.5. You convinced me totally. Christine, tell me.
What am I telling you?
I don't know, because I saw that sometimes you were not agree. I don't know if it was with my ratings or with my graphic skills.
No, I mean, I've been quiet and I've just been making faces, which I've been told in the past that I have no poker face. So I guess that's what's happening. But I don't disagree heavily with your ratings. I think that Gigi deserves better, not because I've named my dog after the man. I think that I wasn't particularly sour about Dybala's rating, although I think it could have been a little bit higher. And I say that only because we've seen him do so much better. So I guess I'll just take that one. The midfield is working. Our defenders, I'd never really complain about. Same qualms with them are all. I think Adam's totally right about the current Chiesa soft spots and whatnot. I don't really have anything that I'm dissenting on too harshly. I think I just made a face at one of the comments that said something to the effect of, we look like we're playing ball like little girls. And I took offense to that because, quite frankly, I've played my whole life and I've played better.
But I agree with you because I have pinned that comment at a certain moment and I was not able to read the last part
The
of
last
it.
bit. Yeah. I was like, I'm with you. I'm with you. I am no longer with you.
Yeah. So I agree with that because actually we have a fantastic women team and those kind of stereotypes we have to pay attention to it. Speaking about Buffon, guys, I gave him with the immense respect I gave him a 5.5. We have a pray for Chiesa from Paolo. I always said, and Paolo is my is a witness of it. I always said I don't want Chiesa to Juve. I don't want him. And now you are making me defending Chiesa. I think it's the opposite world. But Buffon, what about Buffon? 5.5, too harsh, Andrea?
I remember your tweet. You said it's better if I do not speak because I respect Buffon too much. Yes, actually, he's not moving. He's not moving freshly. Let's say he doesn't look that fresh. But okay, against Spezia is enough. In the second half, he had a good save after a header, and then they scored, but it was offside.
But also, like the one that they did get, he was screened, so it wasn't all his fault, quite frankly. So I think that you need to come up off that a bit.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But it's not the first that I hear complaining about Spezia's goal and putting the blame on Buffon. So probably something didn't work properly. I think that in any case, 10 years ago, Buffon wouldn't get that goal. So yes.
You know what? No, the goal that they got, I'm going to argue like that would have happened in any time Buffon because, quite frankly, he was really screened. He didn't see it. There was no way for him to defend that. Some of the slowness, like, fine, I'll take that. Like, look at the man's age, okay? Like, I'm not going to say.
Yes, that's true.
I'm not going to say that he has the same prowess he always has, but that goal wasn't his fault.
I agree, Christine. The goal was not his fault, but before that goal, I believe 5 minutes before, it was really a real difficult moment for Buffon. For me, I'm really start to be insecure when he's playing with his feet. That's annoying for me.
That's true.
He's always been like that, though.
I know.
Yeah. He's a goalkeeper. Like he's younger than I am, so take this 3 months. That's all. But.
So Adam, you're free to play keeper for my beer league team then. You're good.
Okay. But he's a goalkeeper from another time. He's a goalkeeper from when goalkeepers were goalkeepers. Like you get a goalkeeper who's 10 years younger than Buffon, like Szczesny. He's great with his feet because that's the way the game has changed. That's the way he's been brought up to play. Buffon's not great with his feet. We conceded 1 goal in the match. He's a little bit slow. Okay, whatever. We conceded 1 goal, still won the match. He's playing against Spezia. He's the second choice goalkeeper. So what?
It's not often that I get like a random, insightful thought, but I never ever placed Gigi within those parameters of, like he wasn't. I know how he's always played, and I don't think that he's deviated much as he's gotten older, but I guess I never thought about it in terms of we've evolved. Like that role has evolved so much that he's never going to be what we present day consider the elite multi-utility keeper.
But he's never had to play that way. He played with Conte, he played with Allegri, then he went to Paris while we had Sarri, and now he's come back. That's why you notice, because last year he wasn't there. So this is all new to him. And
Yeah.
that's why he's playing against Spezia. That's why he's the backup goalkeeper. He's not going to be playing against Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. He's playing against Spezia, and he conceded a goal that wasn't his fault. So what? He's Buffon. Let it go.
Yeah.
No, but I agree also with Andrea. At a certain moment, maybe it was an impression or not, but he really didn't look fresh. He looked really tired, and it was like the 25th minute of the game. So I was also.
He's 43 years old. It's cold. It's December. It's November. Let him go. It's Buffon.
So I hope.
But guys, be prepared, because the secret plan of Buffon is being the third goalkeeper at World Cup. You know that, right?
Well,
I'm sure. I am sure.
In 2006, the third goalkeeper was Peruzzi, looking like Paolo. He's fine. He can be the third choice goalkeeper.
Paolo today looks a bit like Maradona, I think.
Oh,
I'm
Maradona.
not sure about. I'm not really sure about.
Honestly, all right, in all seriousness, I would take Gigi as my backup goalkeeper out of anyone else any day. I don't care. Like, that's respect. Respect that man. I won't die on this hill.
I super respect Buffon, that's for sure.
But,
and he deserves to go as a third goalkeeper to the.
Yeah, I mean, he's still good enough to be that guy. So if anybody needs a backup goalkeeper, I'm taking him, hands down.
I wish him to win the Champions League with Juve this year, and maybe going, as Adam and Andrea is saying, to the World Cup as a third goalkeeper. But at a certain moment, okay, I'm super happy that he accepted his spot to be behind Chesney, because that was the reason where he left Juve to go to PSG, because he didn't really at that moment really accepted to be a number 2. He accepted it, and I'm fine with it. But it was a bit for me at a certain moment. It was quite worrying, and that's why I gave him a 5.5. We are nearly over with the topics for today, but Paolo wants to say something, and then I want to speak about the formation about Ferencvaros, and we go over. Paolo, tell me.
I guess the goalie is going to be in the near future a big issue for all of us, because Gigi is not great with the feet, is going to retire soon. Chesney is not great with the feet, and I'm not sure how long is going to be a Juventus goalie. As you know, Donnarumma is one of the goalie are associated with Juventus, but again, we are talking about someone not that great with the feet.
He's worse than Buffon.
I mean, so what we are talking about, you know, I just hope we can find something decent in the, you know, as a goalie, but good as a fit, because I mean everything is changing. It's not that like 10 years ago. The goalies are completely different. It's important now for football. So we have
they're always important. Let's not diminish them to that level. But yeah, their roles changed.
But there was a really significant picture. I believe it was the first or second game of the season where they showed that at a certain moment, I believe it was versus Sampdoria, where they showed that actually Chesney was playing out of the box. He was main of the time was out of the box. So it's we are not playing anymore a 4-3-3 or whatever system that you want to call it. At a certain moment, it's like you are with 5 in the back or 4, because the goalkeeper is at a certain moment the first defender or the last defender. Let's say it like that. Guys, Bernardeschi versus. I want to touch on him because I want to defend him before the world, in front of the world. I want to defend Bernardeschi because I did a live.
On his birthday party. You're going to defend Bernardeschi.
Okay, Giuseppe, your Bernardeschi elevator pitch. Go ahead. Just get on your podium and you tell us why we should vote Bernardeschi.
It's his fault versus Barcelona. It's not Bernardeschi, guys. At a certain moment, he was awful versus Verona. We know it. And you play versus Barcelona, and I understand, because my job is being manager. I manage a lot of big teams around the world. And sometimes you want to give some people some confidence, because you know that probably you as a manager, you need to. But don't let him play versus Barcelona when it's 1-0, because if you do that, you're throwing him in the cage of lions. And That's what happened because he's
I wish he
mentally
would.
weak. He's mentally weak. No, but it's true. So why are you doing that? So for me, that's a big blame to Pirlo versus Barcelona. We would not have won. Whoever you have put on the field, that was not the goal of the game at that moment. But I wanted to defend him. So let him
Okay, so that
free
was my
for a game.
question actually that I was going
Tell
to
me.
get to is if not him, who? If not him, who? Who would have been a better choice to put
At
on
that
there?
moment,
That now you're saying that we were never playing this game to win, right? That was
no,
your
no, no, no.
statement.
At that moment, the last 10 minutes
Okay,
of the game, it was
fair.
over.
All right. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So what would you have done?
Me personally,
Uh-huh.
like, I would not have played Bernardeschi there. I would probably put him in when we are winning 4-1 versus Spezia. But
Okay, how do we get to that 4-1 is what I want to know.
with
Mastermind here.
Ronaldo, because that's the title. And actually, we didn't speak a lot
We didn't,
about Ronaldo.
we didn't, I mean, so are we talking about Spezia? Or are we talking about Barca right now? Right? Like,
So I speak about Barca, and I say we were a disaster from the first minute until the last. No,
Arrow's Gordon,
not
don't pray for Bernardeschi. Watch.
no, I am a defender of Bernardeschi about that game, not the game before and probably not tomorrow. But on that game, I want to say that we played, like Andrea said, a few moments of the first half were not that bad. So I agree with Andrea. But then we lost confidence and the game was completely gone because mentally we gave up. After the second disallowed goal to Morata, we disappeared.
Exactly.
That was the
Absolutely.
moment when we lost it. And what you are doing at a certain moment when you see that your team is really in difficulty and that they have not they are not brave enough to be able to return the situation, you put Bernardeschi in that moment. That's for me searching for a problem. That was not the right moment. Now Bernardeschi doing that awful fall, because it was not even penalty, but whatever, he is making the fall. It's a 50-50 with Pirlo. That's
Well,
so who's
bravo.
saying, I want to see in the chat who's able to give Bernardeschi a chance until the end of the season. I want to see those comments. Is there someone on earth that want to
oh,
keep him until the end of or January is out? Andre is saying
unfortunately, more than one. Unfortunately, more than one said, "Oh, because I still believe in Bernardeschi. Oh no, he can he can do a lot." Yes, I know that, but actually, the truth is that no, he's out. Yeah, and once he will be out, it will be 3 or 4 months too late. And even because rumors said that probably if Bernardeschi accepted the swap, probably Awar would be in our team already. So you know how much I love Awar, and you know how much I think we need a player like Awar. And so I hope that in January this can happen again, but I'm not sure because January usually is not the right month for big picks for Juventus. But who knows this year? But in any case, Bernardeschi has to make his way out of Juventus and to find himself.
I tried to find in the comments some people that were with me, but I didn't have
Just
that
you and
much support.
Bernardeschi's mum. That's it. Nobody else is interested.
I didn't
No,
have.
but I want to stay with Giuseppe in one way, saying that it's already a guy, a poor guy in a weak condition. You can. I mean, I feel sorry for the guy itself because he's a nice guy. For a moment, let's stand up. I mean, try to not think as a Juventus supporter and think about human beings. It's a guy with issues. Clearly, he's insecure. He's not the same good person in the field that we used to see. So right now, it's even too easy to give the blame to Otto Bernardeschi. So I would just love if all the Juventini will just, if you cannot say anything good, let's not say anything about Bernardeschi because he's really depressing, the guy. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel sorry about him. So I understand what you mean, Giuseppe, and I kind of think the same. So Pirlo should be more careful managing the players, especially knowing how they are right now mentally, you know.
But honestly, I was speaking about Bernardeschi in general, but regarding Barcelona, I completely agree with you. It's just a massacre. I mean, it was already a written ending. I mean,
it was gutting, honestly, a lot of that, and for me personally, demoralizing. Just watching Barcelona pass around at one point, I legitimately got up and walked away, and that takes a lot for me because I'm more than willing to argue with imaginary people in my living room usually before I just pack it in and take a hike. Yeah, there wasn't really anything. That latter part of that match was just like, why are you? Don't kick me. I'm already down. Like, let's just end this and get it over with. I don't think there was going to be much to be done.
So tomorrow, Christine, you don't play Bernardeschi, I guess, versus Ferencváros.
Yeah, I mean, finisco. I'm done. You know. Ciao.
Who do you put behind the strikers? Because we know that Ramsey played there, Kulusevski tried, and we have to pay attention to Kulusevski, because he's a bit down also with the last two performances. Or do we continue to push with McKennie that did an excellent job there? What should you do? And then we do to Adam, Andrea, and Paolo, and then we are over for today.
I am probably not surprisingly going to say I think we let McKennie continue to go with it. I think that a lot of his shortcomings come from Schalke playing him everywhere, and I think that he needs the security and just taking up the same space, right? Like, he's the kid that needs to show up to the same desk every day in school for a while and figure out, where he's most comfortable, because he is very talented. And with that, you have the problem of somebody that has so much utility that, where do you put him? That's not to say I discount Kulusevski. I really do like him. I love that he's a lefty on the right. And I think that he's an assassin. He has speed. I just think that we need to figure out what the correct balance is. I think that the 3-5-2 works. That double pivot midfield sometimes doesn't. But yeah, I'd like to see McKennie start sort of firing on all pistons, because he does. He has the giddy up that some of those players don't have. He really is a box-to-boxer, and he has the tenacity to go in and defend. And so I kind of want to see him at his optimal.
Adam, can you pick up with Arif's comment also about Dybala? Would you start him tomorrow? And what about your ideas about the formation tomorrow?
To be honest, I would play McKennie further back and put Ramsey back in. I think that's been the best balance for the team. I think maybe Rabiot, McKennie, and Ramsey all together.
I think my only fear, to your point, is I love Ramsey, like Arsenal Ramsey too. But I think I worry about him just because he's kind of problematic with just playing hours and injuries. And so that kind of gets me a little gun shy.
Yeah, I think that's probably why he's missed out the last couple of games, so that he's ready for the next one. So if he's ready, play him. But if not, play McKennie there again. He was great, and he thought he brought real balance to the team as well. So, McKennie should start whichever position it's in. Definitely, I would start Kulusevski over Dybala, because I think the problem in the last two games has been those Kulusevski and Dybala kind of getting each other's way. They both want to occupy that same space on the right and cut in from the left to the left. And to me, Kulusevski right now is a better player than Dybala, so play the better player. I think. And the other thing, just to circle back to your Bernardeschi point, I think we're kind of falling into the same trap we saw with Rugani and with Khedira, that just because they're around, the coaches are tempted to play them. Like, they're not good enough. Just stop, And Bernardeschi's not good enough to play for Juve. I think Paolo is right. A lot of it is mental. I think the player I would compare him to is Berardi at Sassuolo. I think with Berardi, he knew he was mentally weak, so he stayed at Sassuolo. And I think that's kind of the thing that Bernardeschi needs. He needs to maybe a Sampdoria, Torino, that kind of team. Go and find somewhere where he can be the star man and everyone can love him and he can play every week in a role where he's suitable. playing at Juve, he's going to get pushed around. Is he a wing back? Is he going to play behind the strikers? Whatever. He's not going to find space to play where he's going to play well at Juve, and the pressure of being €40 million player, playing at Juve, all this pressure, it's too much for him. He needs to go to a smaller team and really start to rediscover his best, and then end up at Inter in about 5 years, and then they can be really disappointed in him as well. But yeah, I think that's where he's at, and I think Juve did a really good thing to get rid of Rugani, because I think he's just the same. Looked great playing for Empoli, never stepped up at Juve, never coped with the pressure, and obviously we know about Khedira. He's no longer good enough, and he's on the outside looking in. And these coaches, like Pirlo now, he's been very strong in a lot of ways. This is another way he needs to be strong. He needs to recognise the players in the squad who are just not good enough to be playing regularly. And Bernardeschi right now is that player, and just stop picking him. You were right. We joked, but you were right about playing him against Barca. It was a hospital pass, wasn't it? You know, he's nothing good is going to come from that.
I agree. Andrea and Paolo, I want your take, because that's the title of the topic about Ronaldo, because we already covered the formation. I think everything has been said, but do you think that Ronaldo coming back will give us that mental boost and confidence? Because there is one image that I really loved about Ronaldo is we were winning 2-1, 63rd minute, corner kick. He's in the defense and he's motivating the team like crazy on the field. You really see that leadership and that anger. Andrea, Paolo, Ronaldo really make the difference and give us that boost.
He will definitely give us the boost, even because let me watch it from another point of view. I see this Ronaldo missing games as a missing chance to improve as a team. Of course, Ronaldo will give us the boost, but so we have shown to ourselves that without Ronaldo, we are not mature enough to make that step forward, to be a top team without him. So we are too Ronaldo dependent right now. And we had a great chance, because our Barcelona game was hard, but against Crotone, against Verona, we had the chance to move forward and to say, whatever, Ronaldo is not there, but we can still win against Crotone or against Verona. But still, we have to see Ronaldo as our savior. And honestly, I see it as a missing chance. So, of course, answering your question, yes, we will get the boost from Ronaldo. Probably tomorrow against Ferencváros, he want to score a hat trick, and perhaps he will. But we have to grow up as a team. And sorry for if I go back to the formation tomorrow, because Adam said that I would play Kulusevski over Dybala. The point is that if we confirm the three line with Bentancur, Arthur, and McKennie, or if we play Ramsey, then one between Morata and Kulusevski or Dybala should start from the bench. Probably Dybala could even rest. Morata could rest tomorrow because he played a lot of games in a row. But I saw a very interesting comment from Minnesota Love, I think, our follower, and he said we have to find Kulusevski a position very soon, so that it won't happen the same as happened to Bernardeschi. And actually, I would start if we keep on playing with the three-line defense. I don't see Kulusevski on the left or on the right in place of Chiesa or Cuadrado. That's not his position. He has to play closer to goal and more in the center of the pitch. But in this case, if Pirlo wants to go on with this formation, that I'd see him in place of Ramsey. So hopefully tomorrow we'll see McKennie and Arthur, or McKennie and Kulusevski, hopefully. But I think I'm not sure. Kulusevski in place of Ramsey, and then Dybala, Ronaldo, if Morata would rest. Otherwise, where do you put Kulusevski?
No, it's
So you
true.
play with Ronaldo, Ramsey, and Kulusevski. So Dybala and Morata out. I don't see that.
No,
Not
at
even
a
in the
certain moment,
future.
you have to take decision and fight chemistry. I totally agree.
Exactly.
Paolo, the word of the end. If you want to add something, and then we say hello to everyone.
Yeah, just quickly about Kulusevski, just one thing. I think you are making a big deal about him right now because we saw great things in the beginning. I think it's just as I said for the league last year, when you start coming from a small team to a big team, takes some time. So at the beginning you well perform and then you have a little bit of down before to come back to certain levels. So I'm not really concerned about Kulusevski. Is going to be probably in place of Ramsey as a Batista or as a backup for Morata, considering the king Chiara said is not going to move from there. So, but let's don't be too dramatic about
No, no, no. It's
Kulusevski.
not about dramatic, Paolo. It's just
It's
like
going to be
pay
okay.
attention because if we
Yeah. I understand because we have this Bernardeschi syndrome now. I see everybody. Chiesa is the new Bernardeschi. Oh, Kulusevski. Let's don't do. Let Bernard. There is just one Bernardeschi. Thanks God.
Thank God.
It's going to exit.
Paolo, thank you.
About Chris. Yeah, let me finish about Cristiano.
You finish about Cristiano.
Just one thing. Cristiano is irreplaceable, especially when the team is not ready yet, is not performing yet. When the team is ready, you can also play without Cristiano. So
Sure.
it's just about that.
You should, especially versus team in the future versus Crotona and Verona.
You will see.
Otherwise, you are
You
not
will see.
Juventus. Thank you, Paolo. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Adam, it was again a pleasure to have you. Christine, is the bottle empty? Not yet.
I'm still working. I'm still working. It's going to be a long night, friends.
It will be a long night. Guys, I wish you the best of luck also with the difficult moments that we are all living because it's not easy. Strength, we will be there every week, changing guests, and sometimes guests will come back to give you Juventinità, positivity, speaking about Bernardeschi, Khedira, and all the amazing players we have. Guys, it was a really fun moment. Thank you, Colin, in the chat. Thank you, Julio. Thank you, Tarek. Tarek, 3 a.m. in his country. He's following and he's having an amazing night.
Aw.
Thank you. Thank you, Shadow. Thank you, Pepe. Thank you, Minnesota Love. Thank you, Luca, for being in the chat and entertaining us. Here I see Colin, that is one of my best friends from Ireland. He's saying thank you to Adam and he's not saying thank you to me. I will know that. Thank you to all of you. Grazie, Forza Juve. Ciao.
Ciao a tutti.